And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur,
Yep, already got him on.
author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
Hi, I'm Mark Haye. I'm actually filling in for Brandon Rimes as him and his wife have welcomed a new baby boy to this world. So congratulations to them, a healthy baby boy, and they're doing well, and just praying for that family and hope all is well for them. But it seems to be doing good. Yep, Braxton, 7'9".
7'9".
There we go. Nice, healthy baby boy. All right, we got a couple of properties here, and then we're going to have Bruce Woodburn on the phone with us today, and he is the loan arranger, and he is going to be talking to us about some mortgages and seeing how we can pull some equity out of some properties maybe. So we'll get with him here in a minute. But the first one here is in Palm Harbor. This is 3308 Landing Place, Palm Harbor, Florida, 34684. And this is a great community and great city to raise a family, really good schools, beautiful area. This is a 3-bedroom plus an office, 3.5 bath, 2-car garage, 3,000 square feet, just over 3,000 square feet. It's got a private pool. It's got a private marina, boat slip, a ramp to Lake Tarpon. I mean, this house has it all. So if you're looking to raise a family or just be in that Florida lifestyle, this is a really good opportunity to jump on something that could definitely suit you.
Yeah, it's one of the greater houses in the area, too. It's part of their Luxury International brand, and it was actually price reduced already down to just over $900. So
wow, that's excellent.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, that's a good property. All right, next one here we have out in Lakeland. That's about 45 minutes away from us, headed towards Orlando if you are Disney people. But this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-car garage. A 3-car garage for those that have a race car. This is a good opportunity to jump on something here. This is just under 1,900 square feet, built in 2022, and this has a pool. Looks like it's on the water as well. Maybe not the bay, obviously, but it's on the water. It's a gated 55-plus community, and the address here is 7991 Lake James Boulevard, Lakeland, Florida, 33810. And again, 55-plus community, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-car garage for the car enthusiasts that certainly wants to park his Chevelle in one of those spots. So
you can see all the properties on the Platinum MVP site, platinummvp.com.
Thank you, sir. That's David. That's he's my left-hand man today on the radio, so I appreciate that. Bruce, are you with us today?
I am.
Hey,
friend.
Bruce.
I'm right here.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing outstanding. Congratulations to Lindsay and Brandon for bringing Braxton into the world.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. They're really good parents and good people, and so they. I'm happy to hear that they're having more kids.
Certainly are.
You know, now Bruce, you're out in Orlando, right?
I am in Orlando. I've got branches in Orlando, Tampa, and Daytona.
Wow, where are you doing most of your business?
I do it all over the state of Florida, but I also lend in all 50 states. So I've got transactions I'm doing in Indiana, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee. I did one in Oklahoma. I've got one in Alabama. So anywhere I can help folks anywhere really in the country. But I focus mostly on the Central Florida market. I know the market. I've got relationships with the real estate agents like the MVP team at Keller Williams that we do a lot of business with. So, I can help guide clients in a better direction when they're buying locally. But we do a lot of business in the Tampa Bay area, a lot of business in Orlando, even out in Brevard County, down in South Florida. So people don't care where the money is as long as it's green, Mark. That's all they care about.
No, you're right. Now you're at Cross Country, right?
I am Cross Country. I'm the regional vice president for Cross Country Mortgage Central Florida Division. So, yeah, great company. Number one retail lender in the country right now. How about that?
Now, what does that mean for people that may not know what that means? Number one retail lender.
Well, it means that the biggest mortgage company in the country would be Rocket Mortgage. We are right after Rocket Mortgage, but they do wholesale and retail. We are strictly a retail lender. We don't do wholesale money. In other words, if a broker came to me, I'm not going to use our money to fund a broker. a broker could go to Rocket Mortgage or, some other bank or United Wholesale Mortgage or something like that, where everything Cross Country does is in-house. We originate it, we process it, we underwrite it, we fund it, and we service almost all of our loans. So everything's kept in-house. Even loans that other lenders would have to find a broker for, we do most everything right in-house. Even our DSCRs, bank statement loans, foreign nationals, reverse mortgages, everything's done in-house.
Wow.
So it's simple, and it cuts the cost down. And since we're the largest retail lender, our prices are phenomenal, so we were able to pass those savings on to our customers, and we don't advertise. So none of our business, we're not spending millions of dollars a month on Rocket advertising, so it gives us an opportunity to have much better and more competitive interest rates than even they do.
Well, I was going to say, Rocket Mortgage does a lot of advertising on TVs and everything else. I see
and
it all
that
the
ain't
time.
cheap, my friend.
No, it's not cheap. I was going to say that. Now, how do you guys go out and get your business then? If you guys are number one retail, how are you getting it?
So that's a great question. So we really service our real estate community. We service the builder community. And most of our business is going to come from either current, past clients, builders, or real estate agents. And real estate agents love using us because we can close quickly. We've got everything in-house, so we simplify the process, and we've literally built our business around the real estate agent. The real estate agent is the heartbeat of real estate. Without them, I wouldn't have a job. So we want to make sure that we're servicing them so it makes it easier for them and their clientele.
What's your typical time from start to finish to get it approved?
My average close time is 28 days from start to finish.
That's not bad at all.
I can close a loan in 10 days if I have to.
Wow. Are you seeing a lot of first-time buyer? Are you buying a refi? Like, what are you seeing?
So there's a pretty good a segment of the market right now that are first-time home buyers, but I think that a lot of the first-time home buyers are still a little polarized with interest rates. First-time home buyers have never seen a 10, 12, 14% interest rate. They were born into a 2.5 or 3.5% interest rate, which is not realistic. So it's really tough for them to get their head wrapped around a 6.75% rate. Well, it was 7.5% this time last year, so we're down a point from where we were. They've gotten better, but first-time home buyers still are having an affordability issue, and it's a real issue. I mean, inflation has caused affordability to be at an all-time high, at least for the youngest generation that has not seen higher rates. So they're still a little bit polarized by that, but what we're trying to help them with is understanding that there is no such thing as a rich renter. You will never accumulate wealth if you are a tenant. If you have tenants, you will accumulate wealth. And wealth has been built in real estate. And Mark, I'm a high school dropout. I was orphaned at 15 years old. I quit school in the 10th grade, and now I run a multi-billion-dollar organization. I've been able to do that because I've learned from people that were smarter than I am on how to properly manage money. And I just don't think the average person knows how to properly manage their money. So if that is you, real estate is the easiest way to make money because you got to live somewhere. You might as well let your real estate grow.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And one thing just to piggyback what you're saying about interest rates, I think between 5-7% is realistic. Meaning, these companies have to go off and make money too. And if you were going to lend money out, would you lend it out at 2.5-3% and take that risk? I mean, it's not feasible.
That's a great question. That's a great question. You ask the average person, would you loan me money out of your 401k at 3.5%? And they'd go, no. Well, then why do you want somebody else to do it? There's no money to be made on that. Well, that kind of turns the tables. But the fact of the matter is the average interest rate over the last 40 years is around 7.49%. We'll call it 7.5%. So at 6.75%, not too bad. I do think that if first-time home buyers are waiting for interest rates to drop lower, they are going to get a surprise that they won't like. And that surprise is they won't be able to get the offer because there'll be so many people jumping in the market that the sellers are going to pick people putting 20% down over the first-time home buyer that needs $10,000 in closing costs paid. But right now, sellers are willing to pay their closing costs. They're willing to pay for buy downs. They're willing to make repairs. I got a new roof getting put on 3 houses right now for clients that said, I'll buy the house, but I want a new roof on it. If rates drop, so many people are going to jump back into the market that sellers won't have to make the repairs.
Yeah, no, you make a good point, too. I mean, there's always, for every action, there's a reaction. You know, so like you said, when interest rates were 3%, that was a seller's market. I mean, everything was flying
Absolutely.
and they could do whatever they want. And here we are today, and like you say, it's more of a buyer's market, in my opinion, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you can go and ask for those concessions. Like, hey, I need $10,000 on closing, or I need a new roof on this thing, or I want the new AC. And people are going to do it because they just need to get this house out of here, and they're moving, they're going to do whatever they got to do.
And there's not enough buyers, so they sit around. Right now, your average time with 60 days on the market's even higher in some places. So sellers are willing to do that, but they won't when rates drop because they won't have to. But, yeah, you saw during COVID, I mean, you if you wanted the deal, you had to put 20% down, waive the appraisal, waive the inspection in order to even get the deal. Well, now buyers are back in control, but they are still polarized by those interest rates. I'm telling you, buy right now, marry the rate, date the rate, marry the house. You can always refinance later on.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, they could get in now, a year from 2 from now, 3, whatever. You could always refinance it, correct?
You can refinance it, and I don't charge any lender fees for my existing clients to refinance. So they can refinance. When rates drop to 5.25%, we'll refinance it to 5.25%.
Wow. And you don't charge
right
for that,
now, Right now, I think that we'll hit 5.25 at some point here. I don't know if it's for the next maybe 12 months, maybe 24 months, but I think we should get down around 5.25 to 5.5%, and I think that's going to be a real healthy market.
Yeah, no, I want to come back and I want to talk about this rates, with you for a minute here, but we got to take a break. I got Bruce Woodburn on the phone here with us, the loan originator, and
the loan arranger.
Arranger, I'm sorry, Ranger. I'm sorry, sir. And I'm Mark Haye, filling in for Brandon Rimes, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Submit the email at consumerqb.com or call 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast.
Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. brimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. brimes at kw.com.
Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com.
Looking to level up your sales game? With 20-plus years of coaching experience spanning across several industries, Lindsay Rimes helps everyone from entry-level reps to seasoned business owners boost sales, improve work-life balance, and retain top talent. With customized options catered to personal, group, or corporate settings, Brandon and Lindsay Rimes offer training on negotiation strategy, business development, and more. Let's grow your business together. Call 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Submit an email at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Hey, and I'm Mark Haye. I'm actually filling in for Brandon Rimes today, and him and his wife have welcomed a new baby boy, Braxton, to the world, so I get the opportunity to sit in and host, and I always enjoy our time here. I got David here with me. We got a couple of properties, and we're going to get back on the phone here with Bruce Woodburn, and we'll be wrapping that conversation up here. But another property here on Indian Rocks Beach. This is a couple of blocks away from the water. I'm looking at the photo right now. It's 123 14th Avenue North, Indian Rocks Beach, Florida, 33785. It is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, and a 1 carport. It's a bungalow, about 900 square feet. It's golf cart friendly. It's got a dog park here, pet friendly, and like I said, just a few blocks away from the beach. And it's a nice, cute little bungalow there in Indian Rocks Beach. The next one is in Bellevue. This is 10431 Southeast 127th Lane, Bellevue, Florida, 34420. And this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, no lease restrictions, no HOA, so you guys can go out there and short-term rent this, long-term rent this if you wanted to do this, second home, move-in ready, and it has some land there for you, and it's about 1,700 square feet. So 3-bedroom, 2-bath out there in Bellevue. And we got Bruce Woodburn on the phone. Bruce is still there?
I'm right here, my friend.
Awesome. And we were just kind of talking. I wanted to kind of piggyback off. We were talking about the rate drop. Now, I did see that the president wants to see a rate drop here in September. I think 0.25%. I think he said he wants to see. I know I
think he's just about ready to stomp on somebody, don't you?
Well, he wants it to go back down to 3%. I don't know if that's going to be feasible. But why do you say 5.25? What do you see out there?
Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, I think that 5.25 is a reasonable rate to settle at, and I think that he'd like to see it in the 5s. You're not going to get in the 3s. The only reason we had rates in the 2s and 3s is because the government was buying our mortgage-backed securities. Well, they're not buying mortgage-backed securities anymore. Just like we talked about, why would you lend money at 3%? Well, institutional money doesn't want to do that either. So they would like to see interest rates a little higher than the 3s, but I think the mid-5s would be a reasonable place for them to settle. I don't know when they're going to come down to that. Nobody really does, but I can tell you this much. The Fed is not going to drop the Fed rate in July, even though there's a lot of pressure, not only from Trump, but from the European central banks, from Fannie Mae, and even from some of the other people on the board of directors on the Federal Reserve. Some of them are really pushing them to drop rates. However, it is a consensus. It's not just Powell that is saying, I'm not going to do it yet. And he doesn't want to drop rates yet because he wants to get inflation under control, and there's something to be said for that, even though inflation is at about 2.2 right now, and they try to get it under 2. I think your Fed cut's going to happen in September. I think you could expect a half cut in September, and I think that's going to get us going, and I'll bet you we have another cut even after that before the end of the year. So you could have a 100 basis point cut. My concern for that is, and people think that I'm crazy when I say that, but you can see mortgage rates go up when the Fed makes a Fed cut. Now, you may say, well, how could that happen? Well, you have to think about the dynamic. First of all, mortgages are not tied to the Fed rate at all. Zero. They're tied to the bond market. They're tied to the 10-year and the 30-year bond, not the Fed rate. It has nothing to do with mortgages. So when you cut the Fed rate, Mark, what do you think that does to the economy when you cut the Fed rate?
Well, hopefully it's going to drive up the stock market.
It's going to stimulate the economy and drive up the stock market. Well, when stocks are doing well, what are bonds doing? The opposite, because institutional money parks their money in bonds when there's uncertainty, and when there's money to be made, they move it into equities or stocks. So the money's going to move out of bonds and into stocks, and it's going to tank the bond market, and interest rates on mortgages could go up. Now, is that long term? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to tell. But if you go back and you look at the last 3 Fed cuts, September 16th, November, I think it was 6th, and I think it was December 8th or something, where around there, every single time they cut the rates, look what happened to mortgage rates. They went up.
Yeah. Now, what kind of interest rates are you seeing right now?
Your average 30-year fixed rate's running around 6.89% nationally right now. I'm seeing VA and FHA in the 6.25%, 6.5% range if you've got decent credit. But, FHA and VA tend to be a little bit better interest rates than conventional right now, but that's where they're running, and we're still seeing a lot of activity in the market. You know who else is buying a lot in the market? Are investors. I'm doing a ton of DSCRs, which are debt service coverage ratio loans, meaning the only income I use is the rent that the property produces that you're purchasing or refinancing. Very popular with investors, and the interest rates are pretty close to, if not better, than conventional investor interest rates. So it's a phenomenal program and a lot of investors. Investors are not afraid of the interest rates. It's only first-time home buyers and move-up buyers that are afraid of them.
That's because they're going to look at a 7% interest rate, but they're making 10, so they're positive 3. Like, how many times do you want to do that?
It's the rate of return, my friend, not the rate.
Right.
You're exactly right about that, Mark. Absolutely.
Now, I know you got a couple minutes left. You're in all 50 states. What state are you seeing have high value? Meaning, like, you can get a lot of home for a little bit of money, and this thing could be a second home, a rental. Like, what do you see?
Oh, well, Florida is all over the board on it. I mean, we've seen, and particularly in the Tampa Bay area, you get down around Northport or around Fort Myers, in that area, there's some real values to be had. A lot of the snowbirds just couldn't take the triple hurricanes, and they're fleeing, and there's some bargains to be had. So, listen, they're not making any more land. If you can get a deal on a house, go get a deal on a house right now. I think that this is a prime time to buy. And my friend Warren Buffett says, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Well, they're fearful right now. Now is the time to get in the market and take advantage of these opportunities. You can always reach me in Tampa Bay at 813-213-4009. That's 813-213-4009, or go to WeBringYouHome.com. Listen to me Saturdays at 11 o'clock on 102.5 The Bone, or if you're passing through Orlando, Saturdays and Sundays on WDBO, another Cox station.
Oh, wow. Give me that phone number again.
That is 813-213-4009, or WeBringYouHome.com. Easy application. My team's right here. We take a personal approach to every single client. You will never be disappointed when you come to me for a mortgage. I promise you that.
Awesome. Bruce, hey, I really appreciate you being on the show, and you gave us a lot to mull over, that's for sure.
In for Brandon, and I'm looking forward to seeing new Braxton.
You got it. All right, Bruce, you have a great day. I appreciate it.
You do a great job, and appreciate you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Again, I'm Mark Haye. I'm filling in here for Brandon Rimes, who him and his wife welcome a sweet baby boy Braxton to the world, so they're spending some time with the family. So Mark Haye here on Consumer QB Radio Show. We'll be right back. Thank you.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Mark Haye. I'm actually filling in for Brandon Rimes as him and his wife have welcomed a healthy baby boy into the world, Braxton Rimes. So congratulations to them. Happy to have the opportunity again to host. Always look forward to it. And Brandon and his team do a great job. I'm sitting here with David, who's helping me out today as I limp through this show, as they would say.
Doing fine.
I appreciate that. So we got a couple of properties that we're going to show here, and then we have the owner and CEO of Marathon Billboards. Erica is going to join us. And Tina, you're going to join us at all today? No? All right. Tina's not going to join us. Just Eric's going to join us here. Anyway, so we got a property here in Brandon, and this is 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida, 33511. This is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1-car garage. Looks like a townhome. Beautiful looking townhome, actually. It's got a pool for the community. Hopefully it has a low HOA, but the HOA does cover water, sewage, trash, lawn care, exterior of the building, roof upkeep, etc. And if you don't know, townhomes HOA are a lot lower than these condos right now. And a lot of people are complaining about the condo HOA, but I haven't heard too much of townhouses. So. No. Must be a pretty good buy, but that's an excellent looking townhome. So anybody looking to do low maintenance home, it's beautiful with a pool. The next one is Groveland, and I had to Google exactly where Groveland is, and it is just outside of downtown Orlando. I've actually can say I don't think I've ever been to Groveland. Have you been to Groveland, David?
I've never been driven through it.
So I'm sure it's nice, but this is 4798 Indigo Road, Groveland, Florida 34736. This is 42 acres, 2 parcels. One's 28 acres, one 14 acres. There is a house, a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house on it. Actually, it looks like it has some updating, remodeling, and possibly a goat in the yard, as I can see from the photos. So it may come with a goat. So if anybody likes the goat yogas, is becoming a big thing. Anyway, very nice looking property, 42 acres out in Groveland, which is about 30 minutes downtown of Orlando. So a couple properties. If anybody's interested, please reach out to Brandon Rimes or reach out to the show, Consumer QB, and he'll be certainly happy to help you or one of his team.
I mean, you can see all the properties on their website, which is the MVP Platinum team at mvtplatinum.com.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Eric, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Yourself, buddy?
I'm doing all right. So Marathon Billboards, you've been in business now for, 4 years, you said, here in Tampa, Pasco, Pinellas. And tell us a little bit about it. What is it that you do? And
so I've had this product for 4 years. I've actually been owning this advertising company for about 15. But with this company, we are the guys that you see driving around using the Teslas to tow the digital billboards.
Do you have to use Teslas?
We only use Teslas. This is saving me a lot of money on gas every year. And by saving me money on gas, I can have lower prices than my competition. And by having lower prices, my customers get to stick around longer. And it's a huge win-win for both my customers and myself.
No, I do like Tesla, though. That's why I asked. I didn't know if you had some kind of a deal with Tesla.
No, they found a way to charge me more than everybody else, actually. So,
well, you're a business owner. You could do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what they always say. So, no, that's awesome. So you got how many trucks out, and what are you doing? Or
so we've got 3 signs out. And what makes me different than anybody you've probably seen most people doing in the past is when you're on my billboard, you are on there for 1 full hour minimum. Now, the huge advantage of doing it this way is now I can drive in the exact area that you tell me to drive in. I can do up to 9 different messages for you. And this will really help brand your brand into your customers' brains. And now you don't have to worry about the guy forgetting about you 20 seconds later when the next ad pops up.
Okay, are you doing all like businesses, and do you do schools? Do you do engagements? Do you do anything?
We'll do anything. Now, most of my customers are B2C customers that are advertising to everybody in the community. But I've actually got a business coach on there. I've done this for political campaigns. I've done this for somebody running for judge. I've done this for real estate agents. I've even done it for a high school graduation just to say congratulations.
Well, you also did it for us at Hero Fest.
And I did it for Hero Fest.
For 10 hours we used it.
Yeah.
You used it for 10 hours?
For 10 hours. We had them drop it off there at, I don't know, what was it, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., something like that. But we used it from 12 p.m. till 10 p.m.
Wow.
Yep, it was.
And what were you trying to do?
We just had a rolling
advertisement.
Yeah, it was a slideshow on there.
Yeah.
We had basically everything that we had. All our advertisers were on there, all our sponsors, and anything else that we thought pertinent for the entire venue. So it was 10 hours we had it out there.
It's actually a great fundraiser for something like that. I don't know if that's what he used it for, but you could pay me a small fee, and then you can get about 10 or 20 different people to put it on there while you're doing like a street festival or a charity event or something, and just park it there and leave it there all day.
Wow, that's excellent. So how many different things can you put on one screen? I mean, you said 10 different businesses, but I mean, is there a limit?
No, there really isn't a limit that I've found yet.
Yeah. So if you got rented it for like 10 hours, like he said, you could run 2 different businesses, so 20 different businesses could be on there and split that cost.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah,
now,
we just had a thumb drive that was filled up of everything that we wanted. He made sure we had the right parameters from it as far as the dimensions, and that was it. It ran nonstop all day, all night.
wow, that's awesome. So how big's the screens?
So they're 10 foot wide by 5 foot tall. And I've got 3 of them. One of them is double-sided, and then there's 2 others that are triple-sided. The back side's, of course, smaller than that. But the advantage of the triple-sided is when you're stuck behind me at the red lights, you are just getting your views non-stop onto those people that are parked behind me. And we found an interesting way to get stuck at red lights. I learned this many years ago, but UPS only makes right-hand turns. And this is a fascinating thing. It saves them, and I don't know the exact numbers, but let's make up these numbers, 5% of their time, which means they can get away with 5% less drivers, 5% less gas, 5% less maintenance, 5% less trucks, and the list goes on. Well, I learned this many, many years ago, and so I'm doing the opposite. I want to get stuck at red lights. So we only make left-hand turns and U-turns. So we're constantly getting stuck at lights. So people are seeing behind us, and the cross traffic, because there's always cars stopped. Yeah. They're seeing us. So we're getting we're getting about 4,500 views per hour.
Wow.
And I swear I have carpal tunnel syndrome to prove it, because I sat there with a clicker counting for 20 hours, not straight, 1 hour a month for 20 months. And just counting, and it averaged about 4,500 views every hour that you're on my billboard. Wow.
Now, have you had anybody come back to you and say, holy moly, I got X amount of business from this? Or have you had any kind of reviews like that? Like, what are people seeing? They get this billboard and they say, what?
So this is a shout out actually to my favorite pizza place, Sliced Pizza. They're on Madeira Beach right now. And we parked it in one of their locations on a Sunday. And it was when they first opened and they weren't quite fully staffed enough. And she said, Eric, we're never doing it on a Sunday again. It completely crashed our kitchen because we simply put the words, watch NFL here. And they got more business than their kitchen and their staff could handle at that point in time. Now, most of my customers, they tell me they see a spike, but they can't really say where it's from. Billboard advertising is very hard to see the direct results. But every once in a while, I do have that, and I have had a maid service that was with me for 2 years, and she told me after 4 months, I ran into her at a Christmas party, and she's like, oh, my God, Eric, call me tomorrow. We want to do more with you. I never thought it would work this well. And I was really excited about that, but the real truth is I don't talk to too many of my customers about the results because we're growing so fast. I don't have time to call them, just say hello. But I do talk to them, and I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Yeah. That's also, you're going to put out more trucks this year? You got how many trucks? You said 3?
I've got 3. And my biggest problem with putting more out isn't finding customers. I'm the only salesman. And you only have so much time in the world as one salesman. So what I'm really looking for is a salesperson. So actually, this might be a good way for me to find salespeople. If you're hearing this message and you are a hard worker that's willing to make 500 cold calls a week, give me a call.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it'd be all commission based?
Say again?
It'd be all commission based?
It would be all commission based, but I do offer those that I like, or not necessarily like, I like everybody, but those that I kind of can see that they're a good salesperson, I will offer them a draw to get them off the ground. Because it does take some time to get your customer base built up.
Now, how are you going to get the leads? You just pick up a phone book and say, here you go, man, get started. Here's the A's and start and end to the Z's.
I actually still own a phone book. If you believe it or not, I do own a phone book. I don't really use it, but I do use Google and Yelp, and whenever a car is driving by, I've actually got those Meta sunglasses,
Yeah.
And when I'm driving, I actually take pictures of other advertisements, and I call them later in the day.
Smart. Very smart. So that's how you go out and get your business.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So we're gonna take a short break, but when we come back, maybe we could talk a little bit about if a business is interested, what does that do? How much does it cost? Is there subscription, stuff like that? So awesome. So I'm sitting here with Eric Conte of Marathon Billboards. I'm Mark Haye. I'm filling in for Brandon Rimes, who him and his wife Lindsay welcome a baby boy into this world. I'm Mark Haye again for Consumer QB Radio Show. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Blue Moon Estate Sales of Pinellas County for all of your estate sale needs. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. Reach out to Jennifer. Tell her you heard about her here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. And stop by their store, the Blue Moon Store, at 1479 South Belcher in Largo. 1479 South Belcher in Largo. And that's BlueMoonEstateSales.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, personal injury law, and work comp law.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And I'm Mark Haye. I'm actually filling in for Brandon Rimes today, and happy to do it. It's always a pleasure to be hosting. And him and his wife have welcomed Braxton Rimes to the world. Oh, Braxton Rimes. So congratulations to them. I'm sitting here with Eric. He's the owner of Marathon Billboards, and we got a couple pieces of property that Brandon wanted us to share.
Yeah, before we get there, just a quick reminder for everyone to go into the YouTube channel, go look at everything that we have here, because a lot of these properties, as beautiful as they are, as that we put up, you really can't see them until you actually get to the YouTube. Just check it out. Our views have been up astronomically, so thank you for all that, and feel free to continue to keep calling on in and leaving all your messages.
Absolutely. So this first property that we're going to talk about is in Punta Gorda, which is south of Sarasota there. And it's 1161 Rio de Janeiro Avenue, Punta Gorda, Florida, 33983. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It is a pool home. It's just under 2,600 square feet. And it's a nice big home. It looks like a 3-car garage. So anybody that has a hot rod or they would like to have garage space, it's a nice big giant garage too. So really good home down there in Punta Gorda, 4-3 home pool. And then we have one up in Port Richey here. Port Richey is now all the way north of us, so we went all the way south. Now we're going north. And this is a lot, 25, let's see. No, what is it? It's an acre.
It's a quarter
of an acre. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing. Quarter of an acre, less than 10 minutes from downtown Newport Richey, and I haven't spent a lot of time in downtown Newport Richey, but I'm sure it's nice. And it is access to the Gulf, so you have a little canal there that leads out into the bay. So if you like the water and you want to have a property, this is a nice piece of land that you can scoop up there. Port Richey, the address is 5274 Miller Bayou Drive, Port Richey, Florida 34668. And again, if anybody was interested in these properties, certainly reach out to Brandon, reach out to the show, or David, where can they go?
Over at platinummvp.com.
Thank you. All right, back here with Eric here at Marathon Billboards, and we were just kind of getting into businesses that want to advertise and have these Teslas driving around with billboards and are advertising. And so what do you give? A subscription? Do you get one-time thing, or what? How does it work?
So, and that's another thing that sets me apart from a lot of companies out there. We do 0 contracts. So there's a one-time setup fee. On paper, it's $249. Most people pay me $149. I'll go over that if anybody ever calls me. But with that being said, there's no contracts. Most of my customers do my minimum, which is just 1 hour a week. We drive exactly where they want to go. It is on auto pay. That way it saves us time, which saves the customers money. And we just do about 5 to 9 different slides for each customer and just drive it where they want.
You know, the customer provides, obviously, what they want. You guys are not going out and creating content for businesses, right?
No, actually, we are creating the content.
Really?
So a lot of times I try to make it as easy as I can on my customer. We go to their website. We pull the logo right off the website. We get their theme, their style, their color, their attitude, and we build very simple slides. We don't want the slides too complex because now people are not able to catch the whole thing. We want some very simple slides. But yeah, we create everything for them to make their life as easy as possible.
Wow. So if I wanted to go out and put out a billboard for my business, it's $149 setup, because I'm going to call you and ask how do I get the $149 setup. And then if I say I need it for 1 hour and I want to be in Child's Park and you're going to ride around all of Child's Park, how much will that hour cost me?
$79 for my double-sided billboard.
Wow. That's
or
cheap.
just $24 more for my triple. Right now we are having a promotion where it's only $19 more for my triple. But that could change next month, and I don't know when this is going to air.
Wow. So for $79,
that's it.
You guys will create the content.
No, that's the $149.
$149. Okay, so the $149 is how you create the content.
Yes.
If someone says, no, I have my own content, I just need you to put it out there, do you waive it?
No, it's still going to be at the $149 because we have to set it up and put it on the billboards, and inevitably it doesn't fit, or we have to. So we always charge the setup fee.
Yeah, just to make sure it's done correctly and doesn't look off and everything's wrong and everything else. So, and then we were on break there and you were talking, what happened with Bay News 9? You said Bay News 9 contacted you or did an interview with you or something? Or
So Bay News 9, they barely interviewed me. It wasn't about me. It was about my customer. I have a customer that is looking for a kidney. If you want to help her find a kidney, please call my number and I'll get you in touch with her. But so Bay News 9 saw us driving around for this woman that's looking for a kidney donation, and they decided to do a story on it. And they gave me 5 seconds of free airtime on that news clip. They showed the sign. They asked me a couple questions. It was very nice of them to help her out, and it helped me out as well.
Now, people could use your billboard for something like that too, like a charity or a GoFundMe. I guess they could do something like that, right? It's
absolutely.
I mean, you can basically do anything. It's not just businesses.
The only thing I won't do is a negative ad.
Yeah.
I don't care who you're voting for the next election, whether it be city or nationwide, whatever. I will promote your person if you pay me.
I got you.
But I will not put down the person that they're running against.
Yeah, so you'll promote, politicians and stuff like that. You're just not going to do any kind of negative ad, which I appreciate that.
Yeah, same thing with religious. I'll do any church, but I won't ever do anything that's negative.
Yeah, or putting somebody down personally or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's great. Now, when they pay the $79, right, for this hour, do they have to pay for the gas too, which is no gas?
No, it's full. $79 is the whole.
No hidden sorry, got this.
Nothing. No other fees. No nothing.
You see a Tesla pull up. Hey, gas fees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, you always see that service fee. Yeah. You ever see your cell phone? It's like service fee, this fee. I'm like, how does it get that high if I start at $50?
Right.
And
it drives me nuts with that.
Yeah, most companies will do that, and you're like, man, I thought it was only going to be $50. And then you get ticked off. This is $100.
So no, my customers are paying me $79 a week, or they can pay monthly, $339 a month.
Yeah.
That is including everything other than the one-time setup fee. And the one-time setup fee gets you unlimited changes for the rest of our relationship.
Wow.
So, but with that being said, you're paying me $339 a month for my double-sided billboard, or $419 a month for my triple. And for anybody that's questioning those numbers, we multiply 79 times 4.3333 because there are more than 4 weeks in a month.
Yeah.
So you pay weekly or monthly, and that's it. There's no other. Now, if you tell me I demand a specific time, there's fees for that. But if you let us do a random time, which is between 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday, that's all you're paying. That's it. And you get 1 full hour straight.
No, you can't. If you pick the time, it costs a little more.
$15 extra.
Okay. But you could tell you where to go, and that's part of the fee. Like, hey, I need you to go to
Yeah,
here.
yeah. We go exactly where you want within the areas that we cover.
Which
if
is?
you tell me, now we cover Tampa, all of Pinellas, and South and West Pasco. Now, you want me to go to Spring Hill or Sarasota? We'll do that, but you're going to pay for the drive time to those places.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, so you're basically Hillsborough, Pinellas are your big markets.
Yes.
Yeah, which is very, very big. I mean,
Exactly.
it's not like you're hurting for business around here. There's plenty of businesses.
Exactly.
So you're looking for a salesperson, right? So we need that.
I would
Anything
love
else
to find
you're
a good
looking for?
salesperson. I'm always looking for customers. If somehow I get this third sign filled up, I'll buy a fourth one.
There you go. So we get another Tesla truck?
Now, I won't do the truck. The truck takes away from the message on the back.
I got you.
So I wanted to get the most boring car I could find. That way we're making it all about, let me rephrase that, the most boring Tesla I could find. That way we're making it all about the customers.
I got you. So you have the Tesla, just a car. Yeah, just a car pulling it around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do a crazy color or crazy wrap on it. I wanted to make it simple so that you're focused on the message for my customer.
No, I can understand that. Well, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming in. Anything else you want to say? How do we get a hold of you? How do people get in contact with you?
I mean, you could just call me directly on my cell, 727-565-8601.
8601. Do that again.
727-565-8601.
Awesome. And Eric, that is Marathon Billboards. Do you have a social media or a website or a?
Yeah, we've got marathonbillboards.com. On Facebook, we've got Marathon Billboards. We have something on Instagram, but I don't know how to access that.
But it's all gonna be Marathon Billboards, basically.
Yeah. But
Yes.
I can't access the Instagram because I had somebody set it up. I don't even know when, and then I don't even know who.
Well, if you're like me, I'm very, very bad when it comes to technology. And I'm like the last class to graduate, like learning how to type on a typewriter. The computers came in the next year, so I'm lost when it comes to I can't hardly write an email. That's why people do it. But I understand that.
I'm good with Facebook. In fact, every day on Facebook, we just started doing this, but we take a video of one of my customers and post it on my personal Facebook page and then on Marathon Billboards.
Oh, I got you.
And then we also give like a free business tip. Mm-hmm. It might be a good business tip. It might be a bad business tip.
It's a tip.
Huh?
But it's a tip.
It's a tip.
Yeah, we'll throw it out there. Well, we appreciate you coming in here, Eric. And Marathon Billboards, you can find them all over social media. We can't access Instagram, but Marathon Billboards is there. And Eric here, we're happy to help you. And his cell is 727-565-8601. And I'm Mark Haye, filling in for Brandon Rimes, who welcomed a baby boy with his wife, Lindsay. Congratulations to you all. And thank you for joining us here at Consumer QB Radio. Again, Mark Haye filling in for Brandon Rimes. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.